Hi everyone, welcome to the stream. This is Accounting Nightmare. This music's great. This is one of the Binding Coil themes. Seems like there's a lot of different themes in there. This one's called Spiral. It's great. Pretty good. Alright, so we're continuing our Binding Coils group watch, I guess? Yeah, right, so last time we did the first two sections, so today we're going to do the final one, because there's 3 raids in it. Might as well do a little story recap. Big spoilers for Binding Coils. Yeah, so we went into the Binding Coils. They're big internment hulks, like basically big spaceships that fell out of Dalamud. And we found out they are they're embedded in the ground. They've made like a big cavern and they're regenerating Bahamut. And so we're trying to make that stop. We're trying to turn off all 4 internment hulks. We've turned off 2. And each time we get to the center, Bahamut seems a little more intact, so that's terrifying. Also, we found Louis Soir. He seems to be here. He is tempered, unfortunately. He's being controlled by Bahamut. And so we are going to run into him and probably have to fight him in this final coil. That's pretty heartbreaking for Alizé. Alphino's here as well, so we've got both the twins. They're both going to be joining us for the final coil. And we also fought Nail. Nail's gone now, as far as I know. Nail was in the second coil. Yeah, so Nail was like the main antagonist from 1.0. They started the whole Meteor project. They got tempered by Bahamut, and yeah, they're the one responsible for bringing the moon down and causing that whole disaster. Yeah, so they somehow ended up in Binding Coils, and we fought them. They're gone. And yeah, Binding Coils is very cool. Just lots of different cool sights to see. Yeah, I'm still sick, but I'm not too bad today. My voice probably still sounds bad, but I don't feel too bad, so hopefully we can finish off this story today. Alright, yeah, so I've already done all this. It was pre-recorded. We're just watching over the story here. Hey, Counting, how are ya? The legacy will show up a few more times. Okay. Alright, yeah, so we've already done the whole first Binding Coil, which was 5 turns. They're separated into these little micro raids. Yeah, so that one had 5, we did all that. We did the second coil, which had 4 turns. The second coil was where we encountered Nail and fought her. And now Final Coil. There's 4 turns here. Alright, turn 1. Alizé is resolved to go through with her quest to vanquish Bahamut, though it means confronting her beloved grandfather, whom the Elder Primal has made his thrall. With Alphino's cooperation, an ethereal pathway has been established, which will take your party to one of the 2 internment hulks that remain to be disabled. Your foray begins in northern Thanalan, at the set of Dalamud's Talons, situated in Rauban's Push. Spare no preparation, and expect fierce resistance. Very cool. 12 is the typical number for 8-man raid series. Okay, interesting. We're just waiting for everyone to be ready. Skip ahead. They often have a 13th that's exclusive to Extreme. Ah, okay. Wow. So this time we've been teleported straight into one of these hulks. Internment Hulk IC-06. Central Dex. Minus 4560 ohms. Yeah, this is all Allegan technology. This was all built by the Allegans. And they are jerks. We found out some questionable things about them in the Crystal Tower raid series, and now Yeah, we'll find out they're responsible for all this as well. So this is how it looks on the inside. Welcome back, Tag. We just started up turn 1 of the Final Coil, so you didn't actually miss anything. I was just doing a quick little summary of what happened last time. So we just teleported in straight into the 3rd internment hulk. This internment hulk still functions. The teleportation was a success. We are come to the right place. There is no telling how much further Bahamut has regenerated since we last beheld him. Let us make haste to the main bridge and deactivate the coil. There were receptacles similar to these in the previous hulk. Those held chimerical beasts, but only the Alligans know what other abominations may be sleeping within. They may well be part of Dalamun's internal defences. We must stay on our guard at all times. The twins look so similar. So they have like different coloured brooches, are those that they're wearing? Different coloured brooches, different coloured hair ties, and they wear their earring on the opposite side. Oh, their hairstyles are a little different. They look so similar though. It's great. Duty commenced. So fighting more clockwork things. And then some of these internment things start opening up, releasing dark matter slime. Did I record this coil twice? I don't think I recorded the first section of the next time around. I think I just hit record once we went into the final turn. Allagan Naga, Lamia Sharper. Yeah, so these are all bioweapons. That's right, yeah. It said the lore for these was... These are things the Alligans created to try and stop people from coming in and messing with Bahamut. But we're going to come in and mess with Bahamut. Whee! Yeah, this area looks really cool. Yeah, once we get to this little section here, get a nice big view. How cool's that? Neurokinetic link up. This is cool. Oh. It's a dragon coral thing. Essentially breaking into the security system, yeah. What's this thing called? Imdigid? 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 Not bad for not having made peanut butter cookies in ages. Oh, nice. Oh, it's got sons and daughters it sends after us. They mark people as prey, and I figured it was something you had to like pass on to people, but I never really figured out how to do that. I kind of just die every time in this fight. That's the running theme here. I don't think I survive any of these fights. Yes, my poor little HP. You use cashew butter instead of peanut butter. Ah. That sounds nice. I don't think I've ever had cashew butter. What's that like? Because I find peanut butter to be a little overpowering sometimes. Kill that thing! Kill it! Stab it in the butt! Cinematic camera angles. As Steve and Waffle carry us to victory, I think. I don't remember if we wipe here. Victory. Oh, actually, hang on. I did not notice that before. It has little like bracelets and stuff. So that's, yeah, I think that's under control as well. Yeah, it's got like a neck piece and leg braces. Yeah, I think this is being controlled as well by the Alligans. Or the Allagan computer system. Nod. Want to see what this earring looked like? Looks alright. Can't really get a good look at it. We get a good look at these tanks now. You like it? You also just like cashews? Different from the peanut butter, but you're hard pressed to decide if it's more earthy tasting or less. Hard to explain. Okay. I should try and get some. See if there's any at the local supermarket. Cutscene! By the 12 dragons, and so many. We were aware that the Alligans possessed the means to control the creatures, but to imprison them thus is barbaric. I would not wish such a fate upon my worst enemy. It is plain that no love was lost between the Alligans and the dragons, but was it truly necessary to keep so great a number here? Delamod did not want for defences. This we have experienced firsthand. Such guardians as the Alligans created, both living and unliving, were surely no less capable of repelling intruders than these poor creatures. Tell me something, Alizé. Have you not managed to determine by whose will Bahamut exists? No, I have not. At first I assumed that Bahamut had no people of his own, that the Alligans had perhaps discovered a way to simulate prayer itself. However, Nail's words gave me cause to reconsider. Specifically, the Shade's mention of Bahamut's beloved children. From that, I inferred that the Primal is given form by the will of worshippers, whom we have yet to... Oh. God strike me down for a blind fool. Bahamut's beloved children, right there before my very eyes. How could I be so stupid? Who else but the dragons of Eld would summon Bahamut? Who else but they could sustain him? And to think, I wondered why the Alligans kept them imprisoned here. Even should the flame of Bahamut's life go out, his faithful children would summon him back. They're using all these poor dragons as a Bahamut battery. For this reason, the Allagan Empire kept an army of dragons here, in a perpetual state of duress, that they might sustain the Primal's existence. Truly, the Allagans' ingenuity knew no bounds, and neither did their cruelty. The Allagans sucked. FF14 models all the jewelry, which is kind of impressive. Yeah, it's really cool. There's also almond butter. Ooh, that sounds nice. Small wonder that Bahamut was so enraged. Let no one deny that it was man who sowed the seeds of the calamity. Will you now turn your hatred towards our own kind, dear sister? Do not patronize me, Alphino. I merely acknowledge our guilt. Lest you be in any doubt, I have no intention of allowing Bahamut to lay the world to waste, regardless of the atrocities the Allagans committed against his kind. We have no choice but to eliminate all who worship him, be they his children or his thralls. It seems reasonable to assume that the system responsible for the Primal's regeneration is also responsible for sustaining the captive dragons. If we disable it, all should perish. Let us press on. So that was pretty messed up. They have just a huge prison torture facility thing for all these poor dragons. Just so that they would keep summoning Bahamut. So they could use Bahamut as a battery. Turn 2. At the depth of 6835 yarns, you and your companions are greeted by a breathtaking sight. A colossal replica of Dalamud, believed to be the device which regulates Bahamut's regeneration. The structure swarms with legions of the lesser moon's internal defences, but through it you must go if you are to reach the main bridge. There we go. Regeneration grid, 6835 yards. God, that's such a cool sight. Yeah, at first we were hoping we would get to like actually walk on the surface, but no. It's you jump from platform to platform in this one. This is also a strange one in that... oh, actually, you'll see in a moment. Yeah, that teleporter we took, it actually had 2 different ways to go. And 4 of us took it, and then it deactivated, and the 5th couldn't follow us. So like one of us heads back, and then, oh hey, he can come. Then we figured out you're meant to divide your group into 2. Some of us have to go left and some right. Only 4 can go any particular direction. If you're solo, though, or if you have 4 or less, I assume you can just pick whatever way you want. Whee! Actually, no, I don't think you can solo this. Yeah, because there's these platforms that we need to stand on. Yeah, these things, we have to have people standing on both of them to power them up. Whoop. And now the field goes away, and we can continue. Yeah, we're just figuring out how to get our missing party member to us, so we have a couple people return back to the entrance so they can guide him through. And then we decided, you know, just how to divide our group. Because they make you split up again. Whee! Yeah, the split paths. Yeah, you can see there's a teleporter on the other side there. And so, yeah, your groups have to both stand on each of those platforms to deactivate the field. So I don't think you can solo this particular one. Yeah, and then you get to the jump pad to go to the final platform, which is where the boss is. This is a rude boss. This one was very tough for us to deal with. Kalia, this one's named Kalia. 3-headed dragon. Hydra? Yeah, this one took us a bunch of tries while we figured out how it worked. It just lasers people, apparently. And then at some point it goes to the middle, makes this field, and anyone who's standing in the middle just dies. You think you've read that if you're in this solo, the barriers go down if you stand on one platform. Don't quote you on that though. Ah, okay. I hope so. And then it does, so this phase is tough to deal with. It creates 3 different nodes. And the 3 nodes like can combine together. And we didn't know what we were doing, so they combined into this one node that was like impossible for us to kill because it was regenerating its health faster than we could kill it. Also, I resurrected and immediately died. God, that's pretty. Very nice spell effects. Object 199 it's doing. Yeah, so it's got all these different buffs. HP boost, defense boost, attack boost, regenerating health. Yeah, so we died and started over. Yeah, we looked at a little guide, and so we had the tanks holding the orbs separately, and we had to like kill 2 of them at the same time. Otherwise they combined with the 3rd. I'm dead again. Dead. Yes, yeah, we were able to brute force it once you were there on your samurai. You did so much damage. And the final one's an egg. Egg. Dangerous egg. Destroy the egg. No. Now we can finish killing the boss. Or it can just kill more people. Or rather, they can finish killing the boss, while I lie here and just rest. Jeez. You have to be pretty close to the boss to move from that in time. Nod. They predate the standardized markers. Yeah, it's a shame they haven't put those, like, gone back and put as many of those as they could into the old raids. Or the old dungeons as well. Not dead, just taking a nap in the middle of a war zone. Alright, that's turn 2 of the final coil. 2 turns left. Why, this looks like a model of Dalamud, yes. For millennia, Bahamut must have gazed at this unchanging view. Trapped inside a prison that was scarcely large enough to contain him, unable to move, denied the release of death, how his hatred for man must have burned. And that hatred found an ideal vessel in Nail Van Darnus. In many ways, Bahamut is to be pitied, not loathed. But knowing the true extent of his fury, I am more convinced than ever of the necessity of our endeavour. Yeah, I really understand why Bahamut was so mad when he finally got free of Dalamud. Like, I would be. Besides, his is not the only soul that cries out for vengeance. It's personal. Oh yeah, I went to buy some stuff because I was full on tokens. Alright, turn 3. At 8872 yards below the surface, your party arrives within Bahamut's cavernous regeneration chamber. As Alizé moves to disable the internment hulk, she finds her way barred by her grandsire, the Archon Louisoix. The man once gave his life that the realm might be spared. If you would honour his legacy, you must now strike him down. It's enough to make anyone go mad and want to level stuff? Yeah. And knowing that they were like not only doing that to Bahamut, but also a bunch of dragons just to make sure Bahamut was being summoned. Oh, it's a nightmare.
Gods, he is almost whole again.
Voice acting. Nice. I can rest. Main bridge, 8872 yards.
His size is staggering. I can scarce imagine how Grandfather stood against such a monstrosity.
This cannot be allowed to proceed any further. Let us disable the coil and move on. Grandfather? No, that man is dead. I will not dishonor my beloved grandsire's memory by calling you such. You are but his twisted shape, the thrall of a mad primal.
You were foolish to disregard my warning, child. Are you so convinced of your own righteousness?
"'Tis the rightness of our path that led us to return. Eorzea will never be safe whilst Bahamut remains to threaten all we hold dear. What of the hero who gave his life in defense of the realm? Do you truly dispute the justice of our cause?"
My poor, ignorant grandchildren. Your world is shaped by naught but recent conflict. Listen, and I will speak to you of justice. 'Twas in the twilight of the third astral era. The southern land of Mericidia suffered invasion at the hands of the Alagon Empire. With no atrocity too depraved for their purpose, the forces of Alec were unstoppable in their advance. Desperate for salvation, the dragons prayed to one of their first brood, to their ancestor Bahamut. Infused by the power of their fervent supplications, Bahamut arose from the abyss of death and took wing as the Mericidians' newborn god. Yet this great miracle would only serve to further the maniacal designs of the dragon's imperial conquerors. The cruel fetters which bind my lord stand testament to the Alagon's boundless greed and hubris. I once summoned the 12 in an attempt to forestall the advent of the 7th Umbral Era. What then did the dragons of Mericidia do that I did not? Wherefore are they accursed and I exalted? 'Tis man's overweening belief in his own primacy that blinds him to the commonness of his condition and the truth of his own tyranny. As long as man is suffered to remain, the dragons shall never be at peace. Only when the plague of people has been expunged, shall the children of Lord Bahamut be free. Then shall the world know true justice.
Stop it! Grandfather would never say such things. His belief that people were worth saving never faltered. He had faith in their strength, that they could stand together and push back against the darkness seeking to shape them.
A false hope. 'Tis folly to place one's faith in so flawed a race. Stand together? Huh. They would first need to agree on which direction to face. If history teaches us anything, it is that man cannot find common ground between his own 2 feet. Even you, twins whose veins run with the same blood, struggle to fathom each other's reasoning. You hide your differing agendas behind the convenient banner of Eorzea's salvation. Given your obvious self-interest, can you truly claim no kinship with the Oligarch? And though I hope they might bring you closer, 'twould seem that the twin grimoires I bestowed upon you were a wasted gesture.
There may well be truth in your judgment of Alize and me, but such a one-sided tirade bemoaning the evils of man rings false, coming from the lips of Archon Louisoix. Tell me, do you champion the cause of dragons because Bahamut compels you as his thrall? Or is it because you yourself have transcended the limits of man's existence?
Ah, so the possibility did not escape your notice. What I prayed for, what I have become. These are the keys that unlock the truth behind Eorzea's rebirth. If you would have them, then you must needs take them by force. Come, rend this divine form asunder and claim your answers.
But I thought... He has become a primal?
It is difficult, I know, but you must accept it. That entity is no phantom or imposter. It is our beloved grandsire.
Please, for his sake and for ours, you must defeat our grandfather.
Wow. He has become the Phoenix. I really like Louisoix's voice acting. It's really good. Oh yeah, makes a little fire circle, and if you're still there, you insta-die. Poor Steve found that the hard way. Keeps making a bunch of smaller birds called Bennu. And it seems like the Bennu keeps like coming back and getting bigger each time. Oh, that's right. I think I die here, and I'm like, how did I die? I'm not sure what that was. Flames of Unforgiveness. Yeah, it seemed like I got hit by the thing I moved out of ages ago. I don't know. Probably a mechanic I don't understand. Especially compared to most of the voice acting in 2.0. Yeah, I think he's probably my favourite voice actor in 2.0. They should probably have a different victory theme when it's a sad fight like that. Cutscene time.
Grandfather is truly gone this time. But better it end this way than the alternative.
I am yet here, Alice, my dear, sweet granddaughter.
Grandfather?
I must thank you, warrior of light. Without your valor, I might never have broken free of Bahamut's control. These last few moments are mine, to live as the man I once was.
This is all that I wanted. Yet, now that it is happening, I find myself struggling to believe it. Is it really you?
Grandfather, pray forgive me my insolence. It was not my intent to demean you.
Forgive you? I am proud of you, child. You were wise enough to deduce the manner of creature I had become. Alfino, Alize, if any here should beg forgiveness, it is I.
Grandfather, I must ask, will you not tell us what befell during the calamity?
Yes, yes, of course. You have come far to hear the truth. Let us then begin the tale at the Battle of Cartano, where clashed the forces of the Garlean Empire and the Eorzean Alliance. 'Twas there in the sky above the surging armies that the elder primal Bahamut broke free of the Red Moon Dalamut. In an effort to contain this avatar of destruction, I called upon the 12 to aid me in the creation of a prison of ether. But Bahamut would not be caged by such feeble bars. Too vast was his might, too fierce his rage. Little choice remained to me. I used the last of my strength to entrust our hope unto the future, and prepared to meet my end. As you have no doubt surmised, I did not perish. When the cage built from the essences of the 12 was destroyed, the sky was filled with a colossal cloud of ether. This drifting energy responded to the prayers of those fighting below, and to my own desperate wish that the dying realm be saved by infusing me with the power of a primal. I became the immortal phoenix, ancient symbol of rebirth. Rising into the sky, I struck Bahamut with all my newfound strength. The blow shattered his earthly form, and a shower of ether rained down upon the land. Thus began the rejuvenation of Eorzea. Believing the deed done, I relinquished my hold on that staggering energy, desirous that it should be returned to the realm without delay. But I had not reckoned on Bahamut's tenacious will. Even as he teetered upon the cusp of oblivion, the dragon reached out to claim me. Alas, within my fast fading form, enough remained of the Phoenix's energy to offer Bahamut a hold, and he dragged me along in his wake.
And thus began your existence as the Elder Primal's thrall.
I cannot help but wonder at his will to survive. Though he was all but obliterated, Bahamut found a way to seize the power you surrendered. That would explain why part of his physical form survived to be entombed underground.
It would also explain why Eorzea was so terribly warped. Even as the land sought to restore itself, the returning flow of ether was cut off.
Very good. When his grip on existence was once again secured, Bahamut did not cease his feast until he had consumed every last mote of ether that yet floated in the air.
And still he was not fully restored.
You must remember that by this time, much of the freed ether had already returned to the land. That which remained was not sufficient to reconstruct so massive a form in its entirety. But there did not need to be, not for a being sustained by the marvels of Allagan technology. As long as some piece of Bahamut persists, the Coils will seek it out and continue their regenerative task. The fragments of Dalamud appear motionless from the surface, but deep beneath the ground they had been searching, tunneling through rock and soil towards their escaped prisoner. And, as you have observed for yourselves, they found his heart. Warrior of Light, heed me. You must put a stop to Bahamut's regeneration. Whether it be for man or for dragonkind, the question of justice is irrelevant. The Elder Primal will leave naught but a smoldering wasteland for both his children and ours. I beg you to defend Eorzea and guide its people to the future they yet struggle to find. This portal will take you to the final internment, Hulk. 'Tis time for the tale of Bahamut and his part in the calamity to come to an end. Alvino, Alize, pray, come closer. Your hopes and dreams must no longer be an extension of mine. You must needs find your own reason to fight for this realm, your own meaning in this sea of chaos. Will you do that for me?
Of course, Grandfather. I have already made it my mission to see this newborn Eorzea survive and flourish.
Alize, while I was yet enthralled to Bahamut, you spoke of my faith in man's strength. Know that your words reached me, imprisoned though my soul still was. So forceful was your conviction, I wonder if that belief has not become your own. Perhaps, after all your anger and sorrow was spent, you found something greater within you. See this fight to its culmination. 'Tis also your strength, in which I have faith.
Thank you for everything. Pray, take your rest, Grandfather. You deserve it.
There are records of an art that allowed one to summon the power of a primal from the essence of its demise. And though I am no true primal, all that I have left, I give to you. Alvino, Alize, my darling grandchildren. May Light's blessings ever keep and protect you.
Come, Warrior of Light. Our task remains undone.
Oh, that was beautiful. So beautiful. You get to visit the Cartano fields and they're about as messed up and ruined as you expect. Oh. Yeah, that was a really wonderful send-off for him. Yeah, there. So that is interesting that he's a primal, but he was able to be tempered and controlled by Bahamut. That primals can control other primals. And that's turn 3. Just one to go. Yeah, so he gave us a portal that'll take us straight to turn 4, the final one. Oh no, actually no, we'd already found the way there, hadn't we? Yeah, we'd already found the way there. And so we did that another night, because it was late. So I'll just load up the other VOD. There we go. Final Coil, turn 4. Restored to his senses in defeat, Louisoix uses his final moments to send your party to the main bridge of the final internment hulk. Ah, he does, okay. There to banish Bahamut once and for all. Yet, though the end of your arduous journey is in sight, doubt not but that the cornered primal will lash out with his unbridled rage. If you are to overcome this terrible foe, you and yours must be of one purpose. Join now your hearts and minds, and sally forth to bring the 7th Umbral Era to its true conclusion, for the future of Eorzea. That's right, I went as warrior because I decided, hey, maybe a tank will be able to survive better. Question mark. The Burning Heart. Yeah, pretty much everyone was a tank here in an attempt to stay alive, yes. we tried. There was an attempt. You can guess where this is going already.
'Twas a long and arduous road, but at last we reach its end. Farewell, Bahamut. I banish you back to the ether. He is not yet whole. I did not think him capable.
Alize! Alize!
I had thought it finally over. I will not survive another blast. No. Is this how I honor my promise to Grandfather?
You must needs find your own reason to fight for this realm. Your own meaning in this sea of chaos. Will you do that for me?
I will, Grandfather. In fact, I believe I already have. That reason has been with me all along, guiding me. Eorzea's blade of light, shearing through endless shrouds of darkness. I have been shown the miraculous feats of which we are all capable, of which I am capable. Bahamut, you have wreaked enough havoc. I will not let your wrathful fires consume all that we know and love.
How long I have waited to hear you say that. You have found your resolve at last.
Shut up and help, Alphino.
Let me join my strength to yours. In this place, in this moment, our purpose has become one. For the future of Eorzea!
Super book.
This last task is yours, Warrior of Light. You must destroy Bahamut's crystal core.
We went into Bahamut. Everyone's in heavy armor and you're in a casual top. Yes. Let me just whip out my book here. Everything will be fine. Bahamut's so cool. Bahamut Prime. Just gonna fight Bahamut inside his heart. That's probably the way to do it. Giga Flare, Mega Flare. Uses lots of flare moves. And it plays the music from the cutscene. It's beautiful. The pain of Mericidia and the blood of Mericidia. Gonna get massive heartburn from this. Gonna get massive butt burn from this. Thanks, Buttspot. The gust of Mericidia. Sin of Mericidia. Yeah, kind of like against Twintania at the end of the first coil. If you get knocked at the edge, you die. The Storm of Mericidia. Looking at the cool area. Arms length nullifies that knockback. Nice. That's good to know. Ah, Steve used arms length. Nice. Terror Flare. And they have to stand in that little black area in the center. I was lying here dead for most of it, and it was still one of the coolest things I've ever seen. Curse these old age emotions of yours, or yeah, that's the way they loop it back around to that cutscene with this same music. Oh, this song's beautiful. Final Coil of Bahamut complete. We're all alive again.
You did it! But one task remains. With this last coil disabled, there shall be naught left to bind Bahamut to this world. His beloved children will finally know peace. "'Tis done. He is truly gone." You knew, didn't you? You knew what Grandfather had become.
was not certain. But from all I had gleaned, it seemed a distinct possibility. The scene people describe of the Battle of Cartano was one of unimaginable devastation, and 'tis through the combined prayers of the desperate and an abundant source of ether that primals are born. I merely put two and two together.
And you consider that a sufficient explanation? Well, however you stumbled across your theory, 'twas this revelation that made you wary of my attachment to Grandfather. You feared that in my obsession, I would fall under his primal sway. Is that why you decided to join us? To pull me back should I show signs of wavering?
Pray forgive me, sister. I wished only to protect you. Yet I see now that I needn't have doubted the strength of your conviction. May I ask you a question? What do you now intend to do with the truth you have uncovered?
Which particular truth was that, brother? The fact that desperate prayer gave rise to the primal phoenix? That this new god was responsible for setting Eorzea on the path to rebirth? Should such a tale become common knowledge, people would soon offer up their prayers in earnest. They would beseech Phoenix to complete the healing that was begun.
Yet as you and I know all too well, the very act of calling forth this savior would do more harm to the land than good. We cannot encourage such worship for this very reason. Were Grandfather forced to return as an ether-draining primal, it would undo all that he had worked to protect. Your abiding love for him was the key that unlocked the truth of the calamity. But keys may also serve to seal doors that were best left unopened. Let your love now guide your actions, and lock away deep inside the fate of both Grandfather and Bahamut.
Fear not, Alphino. I understand what must be done. The realm need not know the truth for it to be saved. That the Elder Primal is banished, to return no more. That is enough. Let us make our way back to the surface. Poor Oriange must be beside himself with worry.
Poor Bahamut, yeah. Arm's length and the caster equivalent, sure cast, are the role skills you use the most by far. Ah, that's cool. Yeah, those are skills I'm definitely still learning how to use. Hey Freak, how are ya? Love how this raid ties into some of your later powers if you play as a summoner. Yes, I can't wait to see how that stuff works. Yeah, so yeah, they didn't really mention what happened to the other dragons, but I have to assume that they all passed away as well when we turned off the coils. Yeah, I have to assume they're all messed up and tortured and kept alive by technology. Because, you know, the more tortured they are, the more they beg for Bahamut. But yeah, I think they've all passed away now. Yeah, she mentioned that Bahamut's children could finally rest in peace. Yeah. So I think they're all gone. Yeah, it's a vicious cycle. There's still a lot of text. So to wrap it up. In spite of your presence, I must confess that there were moments when I feared the worst. But in the end, you plucked us from the flames and bore us safe unto victory. Just as you always have. As for Alisaie, I have never been more proud to call her my sister. Aww. Alisaie's path. And here we are again. After that descent into darkness, the desolation of northern Thanalan seems paradisal. As promised, I shan't reveal the truth of the calamity to a single soul. However, the nations of Eorzea will require certain assurances that the threat of a new primal is gone. With Bahamut gone, no more power. No power, no life support. Ah, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Without Bahamut, the coils couldn't function anyway. A self-sustaining loop. Yeah, Bahamut powers the coils. The coils keep the dragons alive. The dragons keep Bahamut alive. Poor things. Better to die than live after being tortured that long? Yeah. Poor things. Kept in the dark overlong, 'tis only a matter of time before they seek answers of their own accord. Let us recommend that the fragments of Bahamut are sealed off, that the truth may rest undisturbed. Everyone's flying off. But first, we must go and report to Urianger. It would not do to keep him in suspense. I dare say we shall find him pacing up and down at the cerulean processing plant. It would not do to keep him in suspense. Go talk to Urianger. Ah, the warrior of light returneth undimmed from the depths of darkness. By thy triumphant bearing, I take it thou hast succeeded in thy mission, and yet thou art alone. Mistake me not, dear friend, full glad am I of thy safe return. But where, pray, are Master Alphino and Mistress Alisaie? Hello. Here, my friend. Forgive us our lateness. We took the scenic route. Oh, you. Bahamut is no more. The realm is safe. By the heavens, look at you! What horrors your young eyes must have seen. What suffering your young bodies must have borne. Yeah, that's right, they're only like 14, aren't they? Pray tell me, where are you hurt? Your wounds must needs be cleansed and dressed at once. I shall make for you a poultice which draweth out... Be at ease, my friend. We are hale and whole, I assure you. We took a few tumbles, but the worst of our hurts are healed. I believe we have grandfather to thank for that. Master Louis Soir? Then you met with him once more? But wherefore shall Bahamut's thralls seek to ease your suffering? I promise to reveal all to you in due course, dear friend. But first, there is a matter which requires our immediate attention. Now that Bahamut is defeated, we deem it best to bar entry to all of the fragments of Bahamut. To this end, we will convince the nation's leaders that the danger is past, and invite their cooperation, in ensuring that the fragments are never again disturbed. Come, let us depart and seek an audience with them forthwith. A moment, sister. You need not burden yourself with this task. Urianger and I will more than suffice. Might you not take this opportunity to rest? The gods know you have earned it. There's 16 at this point? Ah, okay. But I'm fine, brother. Besides, you have been through as much as I have. Just a little singed, yes. Oh, I see now. You would play your game of diplomacy and wish me out of the way. No, naught could be further from the truth, Alize. My lady, 'tis mine earnest belief that your brother hath your best interests at heart. You have more than done your part, and he desireth but to relieve you of a burden he might easily bear alone. I have some experience treating with dignitaries, you must allow, and as you never fail to remind me of my fondness for diplomacy, I feel it only right that I remind you of your aversion to it. Urianger, the peacemaker here. Then it is settled. Urianger, pray make arrangements for a chocobo carriage. The ride should give us ample time to prepare our story. Dragons of Muricidia sounds like a soft rock band. Alphino! Though our paths are different, we share the same goal, do we not? But of course, dear sister, that which we have just achieved together stands as testament to that fact. Whatever path we choose to take, our hearts shall ever lead us to the same end. Of that I am certain. Thank you. There is a place that I would visit. Might I ask you to accompany me? Nah. But first, I do believe a change of garments is in order. It won't take a moment. Time passing is a little hand-wavy, but the twins age from approximately 16 to 19. Okay. She looks quite different. Hello, here I am in big clunk clunk metal armor. The landscape is the same. Of course, there is no reason that it would be otherwise. Though it would be poetic for the fragments to magically disappear, I am well aware that they shall remain long after you and I are gone. That's a dangerous thought, actually. Now they're praying to one of the 12. The world may change irrevocably, but life shall ever go on. Let us take a closer look, shall we? I have no doubt that Alphino will do an admirable job concealing the truth of the calamity. and such truths as were revealed in those dark depths will never see the light of day. I myself agreed that it must be so. But the thought that the people of Eorzea shall forever remain ignorant of their saviour, of your deeds, the injustice of it is almost too much for me to bear. How typical of you, Melchan. Ever the heroine. Even so, I cannot deny that I feel better for your reassurance. But I want you to know that I will never forget. You are the one who freed Grandfather's soul and saved Eorzea from Bahamut's wrath. And though these great deeds will never be remembered in song, their consequences will be felt forevermore by every soul who calls this realm home. Yes, this spot will do. For Grandfather, Nail, and the dragons of Mericidia, for all those who were taken by the calamity. At long last, our struggle with Bahamut is over. The realm, given new life through the prayers and sacrifices of countless souls, may look to a brighter tomorrow. When the dust of our adventure has settled, I shall embark on a journey. I mean to find my own reason to fight for Eorzea. And when I do, I will fight with all my being. You have done so much for me, Melchan. One day, I hope to be able to repay you in kind. Already known as a hero, let's not overdo it. I have no doubt that you will continue to help those in need and grow ever stronger in so doing. I shall endeavour to do the same, and if the 12 are kind, I hope one day to become Eorzea's sword in the darkness, as you are. Come what may, you may rest assured that I will not be outdone by Alphino. A little bit of sibling rivalry. Goofy little thumbs up thing. When next we meet, I promise that I will not disappoint you. Till that day, fare you well, my friend. And thank you, from the bottom of my heart. Yeah, that's something I've been wondering, actually, counting. Yeah. That maybe we might be some kind of primal. Because everyone looks up to us and seems to worship us. Achievement unlocked. Uncoiled. You get a title, The Final Witness. And you get a wind-up Louis Soir minion. Which is awesome. Typical of siblings? Yes. So of course I had to try it out immediately. When asked why the Goldsmiths Guild began manufacture of the wind-up delivery Moogles before even drawing up designs for the wind-up Louis Soir, the single greatest hero in the history of history, Guildmaster Serendipity replied, "Moogles are cuter." I swear by Louis Soir's beard I'll tear the skin from his... Gaver? Gever? I don't know who Gever is yet. Little Louis Soir! Urgh. That's awesome. That's the binding coils. I think I went and talked to Urianger as well, and he had some new dialogue. The wind-up Louis Soir looks really cranky though, which is funny. As per me lord and milady's orders, work is underway to seal off ethereal access to the internment hulks. My friends and I will remain here till the deed is done. There's no one hanging out at the Talons. Yeah, then I'll go talk to Urianger. She's not wrong. True. Moogles are cute at Kupo. With Bahamut's banishment to the ether, the 7th Umbral Era is come to an end in sooth. In the abyssal depths of the dread primal's Demesne, thou did cast light upon the truth of Eorzea's rebirth. Yet until such time as lasting peace doth visit the realm, that knowledge must needs remain locked inside our hearts. Otherwise people will try and summon Louis Soir as a primal. And primals eat ether, whether they want to or not. And though the veil hath been lifted from many and more mysteries, the haze which shroudeth the people's memory of the calamity yet eludeth explanation, I have but half-formed theories, which I would share with thee, if thou art willing to listen. That's right, he does have some interesting dialogue about the loss of memory that everyone had. When the combined might of the 12 failed to contain Bahamut, Master Louis Soir mustered what strength remained to him, and entrusted our hope unto the future. 'Tis my belief that he invoked the power of the Keeper, and sent Eorzea's champions to a place outside of time, beyond the reach of the Primal's wrath. Taken whence they rightly existed, these individuals did leave behind a rent in the fabric of reality. At the selfsame juncture, Master Louis Soir struck down Bahamut, thus triggering the realm's dramatic regeneration. The occurrence of these events in rapid succession, I theorize, gave rise to the people's clouded recollection of the calamity. Alas, there is no known way to restore these lost memories. Let it be enough that the 7th Umbral Era is truly over, and the people may finally turn towards a brighter future, assured in the knowledge that a new warrior of light walketh with them. Domain. Okay, yeah, I hadn't seen that word before. Yeah, and there you go, that's binding coils, all finished. I was hoping to maybe do some class quests before we finish the stream, because it was a short stream, but I feel like my voice sounds awful, and I yeah, my throat still feels all gross and awful, so I think I'll end the stream there, and next time we'll do some more class quests. Yeah, I'm hoping to finish all the ARR class quests on stream before we then do 2.55 and then move on to Evanswood. Okay, hopefully I'll feel better soon, because there's so much I want to do on stream. Ooh, Catsworth is trying out Nemesis in Dead by Daylight. He just came out today. That's cool. So I'm going to raid him. Thank you all very much for watching. Why is there an S in there? Yeah, such a strange word. Alright, thank you all for watching. Let's raid Catsworth. Is his stream working? Twitch is just... There we go. Alright, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. See ya.